Hey guys, my name is Josh, and I got an interesting standard game for you, different from the usual. And I got two people from the community who can come and join me today. Introduce yourselves.
Hey there, my name's Sunny, mainly play music decks.
Hello, my name is Josh. I play everything, literally.
Okay, what do you think of this first deck?
Deck is just standard. It's almost standard Sunshine, or like Neo standard Sunshine pre-bandless with added cards in.
The second one's not that bad either, actually.
The second one's the whole point is to try and get a Mickey at level 1, even 0 if you cancel enough. It'll be an interesting game.
All right, Hatsu starts, and he's 3 out right now.
What a lovely way to start the game.
Up and that's a climax clock.
Although what kind of annoys me is that Hatsu's running Kemono Gates.
Oh yeah, Kimono Gates.
He's also like 3 out, well 4 out right now. He's like turn 1, 4 out. It's like, ew.
Unlucky, because Corey plays
Unlucky.
standby first turn. I know that because that's what he did to me.
Well, I think the entire gameplay of the second deck is just to play standby. You want to
Correct.
get your changes early so you can like get Mickey's out at like level 1. I
Mm,
think he's just trying to fetch for it now.
yes.
Unfortunate. He whiffs. Is that the standby in his hand actually? I think he has it already.
He's probably trying to mill the level 1 target.
Yeah, he's looking for the level 1 target, standby it out so he can start cheating
The Ranka target,
into
which
No.
he has.
level 2.
No,
No, he got the brainstorm.
which is fine.
I think that's still decent.
Yeah,
Something
there's
to
his
mill.
target, lol.
Actually,
Yeah, if he has another standby ready.
I'm pretty sure that's a standby in his hand. So he's set. Ouch. So I think now that's 5. 5
That's
out?
okay.
5
That's
out 6. But it's fine because he has like Azusas. Bloody
Yeah, exactly.
Azhaz
And he
goes
just
look
needs
for brainstorm.
brainstorm.
They can mill his deck even more.
Yeah, he's fine.
This is my music is
He's fine. Look at this. He'll probably hit
Yeah.
one of this.
No. I think he's just trying to like aggressively mill his deck at this point.
Yeah, he was 5 out already. It's pretty unlikely
Yeah.
he would hit something.
Now he's got his mill runner.
Cancel. Not bad. So he'd probably want to stand by this turn. He got the standby target in his stock. You could choose to like brainstorm, or I think he also has a drop searcher in hand as well. I've noticed that both players are running Shirabes in their list.
Yes.
It's a good card.
Very, very good generic music card. Imagine if it was name locked.
Oh, he discarded his the standby outlet.
What does he grab? He grabs that Akatsuki Azusa thing.
Akatsuki Azusa thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that thing.
That thing.
Depends if you want to be a boat person or a music person.
Or both.
But I like both.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
And then the Miho. This Miho is really interesting. There's like one copy. It's stock charge. Free stock charge.
Yes.
I mean, you say free, but I say rest 2. It isn't so free. Although he doesn't have any stock right now, so if he opts to play it on the board, he can get a stock. Oh, I do remember talking to
Corey.
yeah. He said even if he goes first, he actually prefers not to attack because he just wants to bait into his level 1 or level 2 standby. So that card, if he opens with it, I guess he can just get a free stock without attacking. Like, that's a possibility. I really don't know what the function of it is in the deck for being a one-of.
This card's name is so funny. Suddenly Zesty do your bestie. So it's the climax combo with the standby in his hand, so you can just filter.
Pretty good card.
Pretty good.
It also has an on-play paying 1 drop climax, salvage a climax, so
Very good.
it's insanely nice.
So grabs another Azusa. Like, I'm seeing Azusas everywhere. What's wrong? What's going on here?
It's standard music. It's a pretty...
And then give Soul. I think, yeah, he wants to not put Hatsu to level 1.
That's a feels bad, mills a climax.
So he's just trying to swing for like keep him at 0-5. So he can't move. And then, hey, guess what?
Changing.
I think that's level 2 at level 0.
Yes, that's a level 2.
I think players would tend to avoid using their climaxes if they just save it for, like, their climax combo. Unless if they need to dump their climaxes out of their hands. So keeping him at 0 prevents him from playing climax combos. Another Azusa, whoa!
Can you tell what this card does? I don't know what it does.
I think it lets you draw 2 cards from your deck
This is not a Yu-Gi-Oh stream. I think
You've entered the wrong stream, buddy.
you've entered the wrong neighborhood.
Pot of Greed? What does that do?
Draw. Anyhow, we got a stock soul. Huds is clearly trying to push the advantage over here, trying to ensure that Corey doesn't get his plays out early. Because Corey can get his burner level 3s faster than Hatsu does. Hatsu has to wait till level 2, whereas Corey can just do it literally now. Well, 1 or 2 turns from now. Takes
Unlucky.
Although he took a lot of damage, so he's getting pushed.
that's 8 straight. That's not fun.
Unfortunate.
Now, his hand's actually pretty interesting. He has a bunch of the climax combo chickas and a lot of empty targets to hit at, but he doesn't have the climax. So he's just like, what would you consider doing here at this point?
The Chicas don't, the Union combo Chicas, they don't have a lot of powers, so it's really nice to get some free kills, especially on level 0s. Depending on his deck, he could... Oh, look, he picked up the Koime, so could try to look for the climax if he wants to opt to do Chica combo, because he does have 2 in his hand. It's definitely a very juicy board state.
Maybe he wants to try to dig for the climax and try to get a free swing.
Can't actually see. Is he 1-5 or 1-6?
He's 1-6.
I think at this point he's probably looking in his clock thinking, is there a level 3 in my clock?
To change into.
There could be. Yeah, I don't know. I can't actually see. But
I think it's the top card of his clock.
then he probably doesn't mind refreshing into level 2 and then just changing from there.
That's true. But he's probably trying to see if he can get the climax now at this point. But he's probably going to... He can mill, but that's it, pretty much.
He probably still has one, I think.
So he found a climax.
That's a gold bar. It's a climax, but not what he wants. Unlucky.
So he misses his standby. The last one in his deck, most likely.
That is unfortunate. He even opted for looking at all 4 for both his Azusa and his Koimeis as well.
Chooses not to grab anything, so it's like, nope, he don't want this. Probably just gonna swing at this point. Although he's relatively safe to change because his change target's in his clock. He clocked it this turn, so he doesn't mind refreshing, which is actually pretty good for him.
Yes.
So he's definitely going to get his level 3 out, and I don't think Hatsu's deck can deal with the level 3.
Oh,
And that's the bar.
picks up a gold bar.
So if he refreshes a 6, I'm pretty sure that top stock is a climax, which is really, really unfortunate. Considering that he was digging, that means he was digging 3 climaxes in about 8, and he didn't hit the one that he wanted, which is really awkward.
Yeah, so had what? 10 cards left in his deck?
Yeah.
3 climaxes. He picked up the 1 gold bar. Last 2.
Quite unfortunate, if I do say so myself.
So he's just love tapping at this point, and he's like a level behind already.
Yeah, he's gambling on the fact that his Mickey will bring him back into the game, which is an okay plan.
Which is fair. Mickey's a good card, and it's like goddamn annoying to get rid of.
But his opponent is going to do the same thing, but with Yols, so it's just kind of like who can get it out first at this point.
It will be Corey at this point, because he has the bar in his hand, and he can use the combo next turn.
But he does have a level 3 on the board that is extremely difficult for Daniel to deal with right now. I don't think he has anything at level 1 that can contest. I believe that's 10k on the board right now.
So he's actually, even though he's a bit behind in damage, he can still he has some light to look forward to. So Chica's not gonna reverse anything, I'm pretty sure.
No.
It's like the only thing that's there is like the level 3.
Yeah, the level 3.
Yes.
It's just like, yeah, that ain't happening.
Can swing for damage though.
So there's your climax combo, but you ain't got nothing, Chief.
He does have 2 in his hand, so he's playing it for this turn. He's probably stocking... Stocks a Chica, I believe.
Yeah, he does. I think he's just trying to keep the pressure up.
Yes.
Good cancel, good cancel.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But he drew a Mickey. That's awkward.
No, unlucky.
Only 2 swings.
That's okay.
Wait, is that 2 Mickeys?
I think he...
What, in his hand?
In his hand. I think that's 2.
Yeah. Wait, actually, no, I only see 1 Mickey.
But what he can do, that's the bar from last turn, and that's a level 3 climax combo.
Yeah.
So he can definitely get into some really fun shenanigans.
Oh, definitely.
So this level 3 climax combo right here, you pay 1, you search for a love character, put on the play, and guess what's a love trait?
Ta-da! Magic trick. He's summoning a Mickey.
Bloody Mickey. A bit later than he'd like. Normally he'd probably want to do this at level 1. Being level 2 isn't the greatest.
Yeah. When I tested with him at level 0.
I'm definitely impressed with Corey's build. Who would have thought that climax combo summon a love trait, and then it's like, wait a minute, this is also love trait.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. He has 2 free soul to give, so he's swinging at least 3. So he's going to be swinging pretty hard this turn.
So he's assigning 1 soul to
the sides.
to the sides.
So he's swinging for like
4.
cancel off top, not bad.
That's fine. That's fine.
Not bad.
So good.
That's 5?
5, yeah.
Oh man, that's another 3.
Ah.
That's a big spicy right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That one's
3. Not bad. That's pretty good. Triggering 3s and
wow.
still.
What a god! Turn 3.
Oh,
4.
and I just realized the Mickey climax, like when you play climax, reveal top. If it's a music character, assign soul, so you can check for your burn triggers as well.
Yes.
But it's the same. It's kind of like the same thing where in Corey's deck you have the Mickey, but in the Love Life deck you have the Rico in the back. Right?
Yeah, but Rico would take some effort getting out, especially you also have to invest in the 1 stock. This is a brainstorm.
He's thinking. What is he trying to think here? I think he's thinking to encore. He doesn't have much of a hand. His hand's not really playable.
Yeah, his hand is not playable at all. He has a Rico, a counter refresh, a level 3 Subasa, and a climax. And he has a Chica climax as well, so he's deciding between the 2 cards which one he wants.
Yeah. So yeah, he does grab the Chica.
He really wants to use that gate. I mean, that stock soul in his hand.
He gets another one. Well, that's not the stock soul. And he can grab it out and he can get rid of it, so at least he knows he's going to be neutral.
Clocks the Rico. I'm guessing he might be trying to look for the early play check. Hits the climax, so
So 7 cards in deck.
he needs a playable.
Because his hand is not playable.
He does have the salvage climax in hand, which is unplayable. So I'm guessing, okay, he opts to get the Azasa.
Well, he needs to get rid of his climax loaded hand. He hasn't had much luck of that.
Discards that. He gets to go. Guess he finds the card he wants.
And I'm pretty sure that's all 7 in his waiting room. So he actually milled the most ideal thing. He grabs his enabler, mills the last climax out. He's guaranteed to be clean. It's actually looking pretty good for him. Despite losing most of his board, I think he's pretty happy. Considering he had a really awkward start that turn, I think he'd be pretty happy in the situation that he's in.
So now he's most likely going to be stocking away. Yep, the level 3 Yol.
Keep that safe.
Bring that out next turn. Triggers another one.
Nothing better than redundancy.
Sticks the free damage. Yep, he's in a very good position right now.
Takes up the Mari.
Triggers Amari.
And cancel.
Oh. Good for Mr. Corey.
So he's all 8 out as well for Daniel. So his Ellie mill runner is going to mill the card. He doesn't need to check what's the card.
That's actually pretty fortuitous. Corey, on the other hand, needs to push a little, knowing that Hatsu has Yor coming out next turn. Needs to ensure that he can at least deal more damage. Corey's been punching from behind the entire game. Trying to consider what he's going to do. His deck's relatively thin. He doesn't have too much options to do. Probably
Koi
trying to
Mei.
find the maybe
Another
the
gold
bar.
bar? I wasn't paying attention to his climaxes out. I know he has 2 standbys in his waiting room. I don't think he paid out the standby that got buried by the gold bar.
No, and he mills the mills the Mickey, which is really unfortunate. Also finds the wrong climax, but he'll take it. It's still free card advantage. He's about to refresh. He's probably going to play one of them this turn.
I think he was trying to keep track what he has in his deck left. Taking a look at his waiting room. If he opts to play the standby climax, he can bring out the Mickey that he just milled.
After assigning soul.
He might be considering using a refresh counter. Not counter, the refresh level 0.
But then he'll probably be clean out. Although it doesn't really matter at this point because you already have you'll get your Mickeys back anyway. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 4 or 5 in there at the moment. So that's 7. And you don't know where 1 is. So 1 might still be in the deck. Or it might be blind stocked from the last one. Because the top card of the stock is blind at the moment.
Spoiled for choices right now.
So probably. Oh, okay.
So plays the climax combo, bounces to hand, top check.
Looks,
I
you
believe
can look
that's a
it up.
Psycon on level 3. So I think this is actually pretty interesting, the Psycon on level 3. So you get to top check your top 3, and then you get to bounce something. Your opponents are playing standby, which is normally what you'd use the bounce for. But the top check, I think, is quite useful.
There's no priority targets that he needs to bounce.
The only thing I think of if you're using that for is to bounce the recur support so you can easily run over the Earl.
It's rearrange as well, isn't it?
Mm.
You know what way to swing if you want to do a certain amount of damage.
Chooses to add that, discards.
Doesn't discard the climax, though. Interesting.
So he's definitely keeping the gold bar.
He's keeping the gold bar. The problem is, will his level 3 stay alive? Knowing that the Chica's coming out next turn? Because you know that, because he salvaged it.
Well, the Mickey has hand on core, so that's gonna stick around.
That's true. Ooh, that's a mill. Hey, that's pretty good for Hatsu there. Getting rid of that free damage while keeping the Kome away. Although that is a level 3 on top, so that's swinging for 3, then 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a burn for 3, direct for 4. That's a lot of damage.
If it hits.
8 in.
3. 1
Two.
cancel. Wow.
Whoa.
Not
Strong.
bad. 1, 2. Mickey.
Yeah, assigned soul from Mickey Brainstorm.
5.
5.
Oh, you're right. No,
No,
here's a
just-
standby. Where?
Standbys always look like 1k1s to me.
Yes.
So Hatsu's turn. He needs the Rico to early play.
It was clocked from last turn, so he still has it in clock. So
Yes.
definitely Chica Yo combo is gonna come out.
Brainstorm. Wow. That's really fortuitous. Mills the Rico, gets a climax, plays it. And then it's field day for him. Grab the yaw from the stock. Easy money.
Brainstorming that 4th climax, that was very, very fortunate for him.
And then he's just going to check the top as well. And that's 1. So that's actually really, really good considering there's only one card in his deck, so he can exactly swing for 1.
That's a free burn, I guess, if he chooses to opt to attack with it, with Yol first.
It's probably better because at least you know it's guaranteed 1, and there's the smallest thing you can commit to. Otherwise, you're going to be overswing either way, so it's better to just swing with the 1. Because 3 is fun, but like you want guarantees in this game where there's actually no guarantees.
So Chica's 13-5, Yol's 11-5, swings for burn 1.
Goes backwards 6.
So that's another refresh. Go around here.
What damage is Quarry on? 6?
He's going to be level 3 after the refresh, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So both players, interesting how they both have ways to top check their decks before they can attack, because they essentially have the same level 3 with flavor text, where you on attack burn full level. So it's actually kind of interesting how they've gone around it. But in Corey's position, assuming you take all the damage here, you end up. What would you think would be his position?
From memory, there's not much he can really do.
Salvage.
I don't even think he runs healers.
I think the change heals.
Yeah. I think the only healer he has is the Charame back row.
That does mean Daniel is about 4 climaxes out now.
Grabs the Shirabe. Interesting. It's the early play support in the back row. Probably going
Early play, quote unquote.
early play.
Only early play if you have that Kirika.
Yeah. I don't think. I think both decks are running the Shirabe, but neither of them are running the Kirika.
Correct.
And so now we have our Michiru from last turn entering the battlefield. I think it's really awkward because those are 0, 0, and 2, because that's the Brainstorm, the Azar, and the Change. Knowing they have two Migis on the battlefield, they're swinging for 0, at least one of them will be, really awkward. Although
Yes.
he does have a way to get rid of it, though.
Does he now?
Yeah, he still has the Climax combo from last turn in his hand, so he can swap it.
Does he have the standby climax?
I'm pretty sure he has one in his waiting room.
Yes. Because it's also a climax swap on play.
Oh, right. He still has the gold bar from last turn.
Yeah. The gold bar he didn't discard because he wanted to summon from his deck again, but couldn't defend against Chica. And that level 3 doesn't have hand on core like Mickey. So that might be a bit awkward.
He does have enough stock.
He does.
Assuming he moved his card, that means that he's finished using his effect.
Now,
If you know what I mean.
if he chooses to bounce things, it's a mistiming.
Trying to weigh up his options. Like in his situation right now, it's kind of awkward. He's a 3-5 against a deck that's similar to him with multiple attacks. He pretty much has his turn, and his opponent's on 2-6. He has to deal 8.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. But Mickey's can definitely dish out 8 damage.
They can,
Potentially.
but he needs. But that top check was not good for him. He needs to get rid of that top, or he won't be able to do enough.
Because he's definitely going to be taking a refresh damage very soon as well. So he really only has this turn to finish the game, and that's a mistiming on his effect.
Oh, yes. He's already moved cards around anyways. Boing!
Although it's interesting, he doesn't bounce the back row. He bounces the yaw.
Bouncing the Yol opens up a lane if that's going to be important to him, and it also lowers Chica's power by 2,000. So Chica is only 11,500.
Also, considering that he's behind, he needs to swing, and I guess the extra point, you'll take what you can, right?
Yes. If you need the soul.
I think he's gonna play the standby climax this turn as well, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. So he had triple Mickey. He needs to. That's pretty much 6 attacks this turn.
Oh, yeah.
All right. He's getting rid of the zeros.
Yep.
He don't want to see any of that. So he knows he's gonna swing 2 at least.
Mm.
And then standby the Shirabe. Now I think Mickey's higher than the Chica.
It's higher by 500. Calculated.
Barely. Calculated? Barely.
And then he assigned Soul to his Mickey, was it?
So 2 cancel 4. So
Yeah.
Katsu has a counter in his hand. That's the refresh counter, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, the refresh counter from Bang Dream.
So considering that he cancelled it, he doesn't have much of a deck left. It's a gamble, I think.
Yes.
Did he take the burn
No,
already?
he didn't take the
And
burn,
he
so he's 5
recancelled.
out right now.
No.
So then he takes the burn before he can decide on his counter, because this isn't even the counter step right now.
It's counter step right now. He took the burn. Now he's thinking whether to counter because he triggered.
Okay.
So he's thinking whether to counter. He probably will counter, but it's a matter of if he's willing to refresh.
Then that's a... Wait, was that a misplay from Corey then? Instead of swinging directly?
Probably.
Oh, okay. So he's definitely at least 6 out. So yeah, this refresh counter, it's most likely he's going to use the refresh effect.
And he does. Not bad.
Because he is taking 4 points of damage right now. And we don't even know what his... And that was just the first swing from the Mickey.
So he paid out his climax and also thinks I think he's back to 8 in a deck again. So I think that was probably not a great attack order, all things considered. Corey has to pray that there's no level 0s on top because that's the last thing he wants to see right now.
Needs as much damage as possible.
So Corey has to kill Hatsu now or he loses the game. Ah, that's actually really good news. So he took the 4, so he doesn't need that much now.
So that's 3-3.
That's 3-3. So that's a 1. Ooh.
Oh, that's not
So
good.
Ooh.
Unlucky.
But that's good.
That's good. 2.
Oh, that's 2. Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Wow. That's 4 straight cancels.
That must have been terrifying to be on the receiving end. You're taking 6 different hits and canceling where it
counts.
Yeah.
Now I think Katsu just needs to be swinging. He can't play level 3s this turn. He's just top checking just to deal exactly enough. His opponent's only at 3-5.
Just needs 2 damage. Triggers a soul.
And that's pretty much the game, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes.
Does that look like he has 3 climax at the bottom of his deck?
Yes, he does.
3 and then 2 on the top?
Yeah, 2 on top. That's just really sad.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
That is quite unfortunate. All right, what do you think? That game in general, like, what do you think? One of the most impressive things to me is Hatsu rescuing himself.
Yeah, he stabilized himself really well.
He milled out, he was like 4 or 5 out, maybe turn 1, turn 2, and he just went through his deck like mad.
Standard music, by the way.
Standard music, by the way. Consistency, by the way.
When you have the option to run 4 tap self brainstorm, 4 Azasas, and 4 Koi Mace op if you want to.
If you want. I don't think Hatsu ran the core maze in his build, but Corey runs the full 4. So it's actually nice that he has the things on there. But on Corey's side, what was the things that defined his game? He technically did play on curve. He just took 1,000,000 damage along the way.
Yeah, so he played on curve to his best of his ability.
Yeah, he just took the 8, which was really sad.
This was very unfortunate.
If he cancelled just as well as Daniel did, he could be curving out a lot better with standbying out his ideal level 1 plan, and then the level 1 changes to the level 2, and then 2 to 3 onwards.
I'm pretty sure if he would have had the Mickeys out at level 1, pretty much. Because he was on track to do it anyway.
Yes.
He would have the dominant board position because Chica, there was no way Chica could get any reverses at all from then onwards.
Because he had to force the Chica to get a single plus. He didn't. He only had 1 Chica combo the entire game. I think a lot of this game there was like a really interesting lack of level 1 combos that actually proc.
Well, Corey's deck isn't. That's not the plan. He just runs. I'm pretty sure he just runs a level 1 combo just because this happens to work with the deck. Might as well put it in.
How about standard as a format? This tournament was the 5th tournament that we have this year. And it's not very common that Macquarie normally runs 4 tournaments a year. But this year we ran a 5th one in December because scheduling worked out that way. It was quite an experiment. And we had one really particular deck which blew up Japanese Twitter like mad.
Yes.
Jang Kin. Dear God. Do you think this format is healthy or not? Or do you think we could do this again or not? What do you think about this format as a whole? Because people don't play this.
It's definitely hard to give a objective opinion. Definitely it's very subjective. Because standard opens up your deck building strategy where you can use any cards from any sets, and the ban list is quite small because it's not regularly updated as much as the Neo Standard ban list. So if you're very clever in deck building, you can be like Mark 1 and you just find this loophole of a deck.
That deck's still stupid. I don't know. Can't believe that deck exists. So fucking stupid.
Bloody hilarious.
Oh, it is hilarious. Most of the players who played against it weren't even mad. They were just like, wow, I'm impressed.
They're just impressed with the deck because it's 100% consistent.
It's definitely an interesting format because there's not much official support besides stating that it exists.
It definitely opens up for people to experiment with their decks because I don't know about other people, but people generally would consult with one another, check up on what are some of the top decks and how people are building it. So you get some ideas, but for standard, we just have hardly any resource regarding that. So it just comes down to players' skills on how they build their decks.
I didn't play in the tournament. It was my understanding that you two guys actually played. what was your opinions on what you were playing against and your own decks?
I don't remember what I actually played against on the day. Nothing too obscure. There was nothing like that creative. My deck wasn't really nothing special either. Mine was mainly an event deck. So I played just 20 events and then cards to grab them. But I loved how easy my deck bricked.
I wonder why.
It was hilarious because the whole point of the deck was like it ran 6 of the draw phase bounces, 4 of the Sakura Rainstorms from Fate. I played 8 gold bar, and pretty much at any point in the game, if your top check bounces failed, you lost because you just couldn't play any characters to swing with.
You were just relying on gold bars to trigger, and then hopefully you get a fine selection of events in your clock.
Yes, I enjoyed playing Rest though. That was amazing.
In terms of creative decks, obviously Mark 1 gets the fucking Nobel Prize for that. But Corey's deck that we just saw was definitely interesting to say the least. Aside from the obvious that he's using music trait, the way he built the deck, like the goal, the strategy of the deck, where he wanted to standby out his level 1, goes into the level 2, and then the level 2 changes to level 3, gets a heal off for free as early as level 0 if he's still around there, if not level 1, then cheats out love traits, and it just so happens to be Mickey's. So I think that was very creative.
The fact that you could bring out something like that is pretty funny.
I remember there was a deck that had an achievement to deal 50 soul, and it just relied on cards which put climaxes into your opponent's memory, and it actually worked. Someone actually died and turned up to 50 soul.
Amazing.
Seeing that happen was just like, wow. That's a win condition I thought I'd never see in my lifetime. Remember there was a article about it for the 9th climax, and they were like, to get this to work, you need to win the lottery.
Nice.
Well, guess that guy won the lottery then.
All right. I guess, unless you want to talk about anything, I guess we're done.
Josh, don't.
Oh, this video has been sponsored by Raid
fuck's
Shadow
sake.
Legends. I've never been much of a profile game.